Welcome to Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is January the 23rd, 2026. We're going to be talking about TNA. We found out who is the new member of the system. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard from Elena Black. She has some things to say that she is the next one to be in line for the Knockouts Championship. I don't know how, because she just debuted, didn't have a match. But she will have a match next week against some random person that I don't know of. They did talk about the new knowing contenders to the Knockouts Tag Team titles, Saruka and Zarya. Not a lot of NXT stars showed up this week. Because they did say there's a lot of snowstorms happening and not a lot of people could make it. So it could be because of that. And Leon Slater didn't show up because his visa problems still. So maybe that's why there's not a lot of NXT stars showed up, because they're not in Orlando. They TNA was not in Orlando where they could have NXT stars. The only NXT stars that showed up was Ariana Grace and Stax. They are the only NXT stars that actually showed up on TNA. Speaking of Ariana Grace, ladies and gentlemen, she came to her father and started crying and begging or apologizing to her father. But Santino says, I can't stay mad at you. He hugged her. Is it a ruse? Because of Stax? He blames Stax for everything that they've been doing. But I don't think it's all Stax. I think everything she said was what she really meant. And then we heard from Mike Santana. He's happy that he's the world champion. He will be the champion. He says he's not losing this time to somebody with a trophy. He said he came back to TNA to win the World Championship, and that's what he did. Ladies and gentlemen, they were watching the Peas Are Fired match. They found out who has the briefcases. I got the 4 guys that won the briefcase. If you guys didn't want to know, there's no tag team title shot. There's only the world title, the international title, or the X Division title. And there's a pink slip. There's no tag team title shot for any of these superstars. But Mike Santana was watching this match and saw all the people with the suitcases. Nick Devitt comes out to Mike Santana and his whole bunch of things. Now you have a big target because you have all these guys. You don't know who's the knowing contender. Who has that knowing contender spots in that case? Who has a title shot? And you have to worry about Nick Devitt with his trophy, because he did not cash in at Genesis. He was about to, but he got attacked. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. And he mentioned his kid, and it got Mike Santana angry. Security had to pull him off of Nick Devitt. I don't blame him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would tell you what happened with the system because it happened at the end of the show, and I will tell you guys at the end of my video. First match of the evening, we got Cedric Alexander versus Moose, 2 opponents that face each other at Genesis. Joe Hendry as well, but he's not on TNA anymore. He's on NXT. So now we got the 2 members of that triple threat facing each other. It was a pretty decent match. I thought it was a great match. We heard that Moose injured himself. He had a hurt back. But he still wants to wrestle, and that's what he did. The winner of that match was Cedric Alexander. So this is the second time Cedric Alexander pinned Moose. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we got Indy Hartwell versus M. Indy Hartwell wants a shot at the Knockouts Women's World Tag Team Championships, maybe. She did had a little fallout with them on last week because they were mocking everybody, being cocky and all that stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of that match was Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell got attacked by Heather and M and Mr. Anglins. Well, he wasn't really doing much. He was just standing there and posing like a weirdo. But Ash Kate comes in the ring and tells him to stop. Is she going to turn on him? We don't know. She told him to stop. And then Xia Li and Li Yang Li came out, and Xia Brookside comes out, and then Ash attacks Li Yang Li, and the rest of the Anglers family or team, the brand, attacked Indy Hartwell and Xia Brookside. That means Ash is medically cleared to wrestle again. Did anyone care that she came back at retirement? Nope, I didn't care. She's okay in the ring. She's not bad. It's just she hasn't really improved that much. When she won the Knockouts title to bring back to TNA at Gold Rush months ago, she was the wrong person to beat JC Jane. To bring back the TNA Gold Knockouts title to TNA. She was the worst one. I'm sorry to say it, but you had a whole bunch of knockouts that actually had a great opportunity than Ash. Like, seriously, really? I didn't like it one bit. Carlos, I don't know what you got yourself into, but Ash is not the person to hold that title. But, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the Anglers brand is going to have a party, a comeback party, that she's back now. Ash is back. I was thinking in my head, why is she still here if she retired? Because I think she said she retired. That's why she had to vacate the title. She had to retire because she got injured. But why is she still here? Why is she still a manager? I thought she was done with wrestling. That's what I thought. But nope. She still wrestles. Yay! Let's clap for Ash. I don't really care for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did care about this return. We have a return in the Feast or Fired match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the first person that got a briefcase was Eric Young. And then Steve Blackman. Steve Macklin. And ladies and gentlemen, the man that got hired to AEW. And then he got released from AEW a couple days ago. Before his hired stuff. And his friends, the Rascals, was there all by themselves with no Trey Miguel. Ladies and gentlemen, the returning of Trey Miguel. And Tom did say that TNA re-signed Trey Miguel to TNA. Trey Miguel comes to TNA, he wins a briefcase, and the guy just resigns, and one of those briefcases is a pink slip. A fired pink slip. So did this guy just come here and then he gets fired? Just like he did in AEW? I hope not. I hope he gets a shot of a title. I like Trey Miguel. I like it. It's kind of weird now. The Rascals is on AEW and he's only on TNA. He done it before. He won the X Division title. He was one of the top X Division champions. And he could do it again. I'm hoping he doesn't get fired. And then Eddie Edwards won the other case. The last case. Brian Myers was on that turnbuckle as well. He says you could get it. He did a stage dive onto everybody that's outside the ring. And Eddie Edwards gets the win. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard that next week we will reveal who gets the title shots and who gets fired. My prediction, who gets fired? I think it's Eric Young. Because he was on the AMC debuts, the premiere. He was in the audience. He wasn't in a match. He wasn't even in a segment. I think it will be Eric Young. Because Steve Macklin is good for the business. So is Eddie Edwards. And Trey Miguel just resigned. I say Eric Young. If I want to say knowing contenderships, I would like to see Trey Miguel get a shot at the world title. But I think he might get a shot maybe at the International Championship or the X Division. Steve Macklin, I say world title. Mostly world title. I don't know about the International. Are they done with him with the International? I have no idea. And Eddie Edwards, I say International. Something that Eddie Edwards number one in his career. He never won the International or Digital Media Championship, something like that. Or the Grand Champion, the extra title. So he never won those titles, and I think he should win it. I don't know if he did. Did he win it? Did he win the King of the Mountain Championship? Yeah, TNA had the King of the Mountain Championship. Did they win that? I don't know who they won. I don't know he won that. That was a long time ago. I know Eddie Edwards won the world title back then when the King of the Mountain Champion was a thing. But I don't think he won that championship. I know he won the X Division title. He won the world title, the tag titles. I don't think he won any of the extra titles. So I think he should get a shot at the International Championship. We have our main event, Jeff Hardy versus Mustafa Ali. And of course, Ali has his little friends helping him every single time. Agent O, Jason Haas, John Skyler, and Tasha Steelz keep getting themselves involved. Matt Hardy keeps trying to help Jeff Hardy. It's not really easy for him because he's facing 3 guys and 1 woman. It's very hard. But ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was Jeff Hardy with the little distraction of Elijah. Jeff Hardy gets the win. And the Righteous has some things to say about the Hardys and their loss to Genesis. Ladies and gentlemen, the system comes out. JDC introduces the new member that's replacing him in the new the system. Almost like the new system. Why am I saying that? The system. And it's somebody that Brian Myers trained. Brian Myers knows so well. And his name is Bear Bronson. If you guys didn't know, he was on GTS as well. Graham had a little rivalry with him over on his show. And Brian Myers and Bear Bronson was a team. I don't know they were actually a tag team, but they were a team. So I do remember that part. But Bear Bronson in there, and then out of nowhere, Eddie Edwards low blows JDC. What the hell? And then Bear Bronson attacks Moose. So the rest of the system attacks JDC and Moose. Alicia Edwards didn't know what the hell is happening. What are you guys doing? And then Cedric Alexander comes out with a chair. Everybody runs away. And we thought Cedric will help Moose. No, he whacks Moose with the chair. And then the rest of the system again attacks Moose and JDC. And Eddie Edwards says, this is the other part of the plan that we didn't tell you, Moose. We're not just getting rid of 1 member. We're getting rid of 2 members and replacing them with 2 new guys. Bear Bronson and Cedric Alexander. That's a big plot twist. Oh my God, man. So now we got the System 2.0. We don't know where Alicia Edwards allies. because she's checking out Moose and JDC, yelling at her husband, "What the hell you're doing?" She doesn't even know what's happening. I guess they didn't tell her the plan, but she didn't get attacked. She didn't get replaced, but she still doesn't know what's going on. She was checking out Moose and JDC while these guys were posing, saying, "Yeah, we did it." So now we got a new system. We got Bear Bronson, Cedric Alexander, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, and maybe Alicia Edwards. We don't know what's going on with her, and we will find out next week. And speaking of next week, BDE has a big match. Because Nick Nemeth has a problem with Mike Santana, and he's yelling at the YouTube content creators. They were just playing a video game. Nick Nemeth just made fun of BDE, saying he does not deserve to be here. But BDE says, "I pay my dues." He says wrestling is for everybody. He issued a challenge to Nick Nemeth to a match next week. And we heard that AJ Francis will be versing Rich Swann in a no-holds-barred match. And if you guys didn't see social media, Nick Aldis invited AJ Styles to Friday Night SmackDown. Why? Don't know why. Maybe he's going to try to talk him over the match, but it was official. He can't go back. He can't say no now. He said he wants it, and that appears made it official. So that's Nick. You can't tell him. You can't change his mind. So we're going to see what AJ Styles is going to do on SmackDown. I'm hoping that everybody is safe in the snowstorms. I guess there's a lot of snowstorms around the world that's happening. We've been having some snow here in Canada as well. So yeah, there's a lot of snow happening these past couple of days. And this is why some wrestlers can't show up to TNA because of the snowstorms and because of Leon Slater's visa problems. I think that's the visa is because maybe there's too much snow. I don't know, but I don't know what's going on here, but a lot of things is happening, and it's the winter. A lot of things gets postponed or change the scheduling, or cancel some matches or replace some matches, like on Genesis with the triple threat match was Joe Hendry, no Leon Slater, no X Division title match. So we have no idea what's going on there. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown. That's all I'm going to say. Tell us out. Bye!